Hey guys, NeoBrian here, back for another Dad 101. I want to share with you today 2 tips that are really important if you want to be a good dad. The first one is be present. And that sounds simple, but it's not, because there are days when it's utter chaos in the home and the kids aren't minding and mom is at her end of her rope, and honestly when you come home, she's ready to fight with you, the kids are fighting against you. Now we're not absent as in we leave the home. We're absent as in we're not present with the family. Maybe we go off and read. Maybe we spend more hours at the office or the workplace. Maybe we do whatever we can so that we don't have to engage and deal with the issues that are happening in the home. It would be nice if every day was beautiful and wonderful and everybody loved each other, and you'll have those days, but it's not realistic to expect that all the time. Being a dad is hard, so be present. Be willing to engage, even when it's difficult. And the second tip, which is probably more important, do no harm. Don't hurt your kids. Don't hurt your wife. And it goes without saying, you don't beat them or abuse them physically, but it's deeper than that. When I've had a bad day at work and I'm stressed out, and I come home and the kids are being ornery and the wife is stressed out, sometimes the only thing that comes out of me is yelling and screaming. And that's not love. It's not what your children deserve. And it's not what your wife deserves. This tip is probably the hardest one for a lot of dads out there. And you have to think about it all the time. Am I doing no harm? Now here's the sad thing about this little tip. Dads, you're going to fail. You're going to hurt your family. Hopefully most of you won't intend to. You'll wind up being short. You'll wind up using harsh words. You'll say something to one of your children that just crushes them, and you don't even realize it. Let me tell you something I've learned. When you make a mistake, when you do something wrong, when you speak or you act, and you do something you shouldn't have done, make it right. Go and apologize. And then make every effort not to do that thing again. Dads, one of the hardest things you'll ever do is apologize to your children. But you've got to do it. You have to do it, number one, because they need to understand that what you did was wrong. They need to understand that when you were screaming and yelling, that even though what they may have said or done had an influence, it doesn't justify the way you acted. See, because the thing with children is they will take all the blame for your bad days, for mom's bad days. If only I could have done things better, Dad wouldn't be so mad. And your kids deserve to know when you've screwed up that it's not them. I do these little Dad 101 videos, not because I'm a great dad, because to be honest, I'm not. But because I want to be a great dad. I want to be a good husband. It's very humbling when I realize that one day my sons will grow up to become men very much like me. That they watch me and that they see my example, and that as I interact with their mother even, that's what they're going to model their marriages after. And perhaps the scarier thing is my daughters. Because one day, in all likelihood, they're going to grow up and marry a man who's very similar to me. The way they see me treat their mother, that's likely the kind of relationship and eventually marriage that they're going to have. I look at the way that I treat my wife sometimes, and if I ever had a son-in-law treat one of my girls that way, be present. Do no harm. Honestly, if you do those 2 things, there's a lot of other things you can add to it, but that's at the core of what it means to be a good dad. There's no higher calling, and your influence is going to leave a legacy that goes beyond you. Bonus tip, if you grew up in a certain way and your parents did things and they made mistakes, and you got the attitude, it was good enough for me, it's good enough for my kids, then you failed. Don't repeat the mistakes of the previous generation any more than you will want your children to repeat your mistakes. If you had great parents, awesome. Model after them. If you had horrible parents, leave it behind. Get a new model. Do it differently. If you're like most people, you probably had parents that they did some good things and they did some bad things. You can learn from both. Don't repeat the bad things, do more of the good things. That's all I have for you today. Hope it helps. There's a plan for your life. And one of the awesome things is there is a plan for your children's life, and you are blessed to be a part of that. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.